Life is full of turning points. Would you agree? Life is full of turning points. It's full of choices, crossroads, chapters. A single life, a single individual lives, and there are chapters to or in that person's life. There's choices that we have to make, that we are called to make. We're faced with decisions. We come to a crossroad in life, and it really is called a pivot. We reach a pivot, a point, an important point of life that will drive a person, that will drive us in a direction, one direction or the other. A pivot will drive us in one direction or the other. A pivot. It's that moment in life when one must decide, will I say yes or will I say no? Will I stay or will I go? Pivots are very, very important. They're crucial. They're critical because there are other things that depend on a pivot. A person being a pivot, there are other people who depend on you as a pivot. Intercessor, if I can use you as an example. You're a pivot, you're a leader, you're an intercessor. There's a lot that you've been given and being, how do I want to say this, that you've been that's been delegated to you by the Holy Spirit. Things that the assignment on your life, your responsibilities, your duties, your due diligence, those things that you are to be a steward over. And so based on your decision, based on the choices that you make, others' lives will be greatly affected because you being a pivot, others depend on you. Does that make sense? All right. So you being a pivot, you're the central part. You're the main individual or ingredient. You're very important because a person's life could evolve or revolve around you and the choices you make as a leader. I am your host, Dr. Lydia Michelle Young. I'm here with my co-host, Intercessor J'eanine Nichole. Today is Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. This is midweek refreshing fire. We appreciate you for tuning in to Sweet Fire, the podcast, where the move of the Lord is going on. And we're just going to dive into this session talking about pivoting or a pivot. Come on, Intercessor, jump in.
Good evening, everyone. Yes, thank you for tuning in. I'm definitely looking forward to this broadcast, to this episode, because, many of us, we don't look at ourselves as being a pivot. We don't look at ourselves as being a pivot. And, you breaking down the word pivot, it broadens, it further enlightens, right? It causes one's, perspective to be opened up even greater, because we've heard that word pivot, over the course of time throughout the years, but never hearing pivot referencing an individual as being a pivot, as an individual being a pivotal point in one's life. So definitely looking forward to this episode here. And again, thank you for tuning in to Sweet Fire, the podcast.
All right. Yes. So being a pivot, a parent, a grandparent, a caregiver, those who watch over other souls, leaders in ministry, leaders in business, leaders in the home, pivot, somebody who has influence. They're persuasive. And so what they do, how they demonstrate life, or how they function, how they speak, how their conduct, how they carry themselves, the choices they make when they come to the crossroad, right, is going to greatly impact that person who is watching them. Do you realize that people are watching you?
Yes.
Are watching you. So, with that being said, and what comes to mind is because we are being watched, observed, our behaviors are being observed by others. Our consistency is being observed by others. Our perseverance, our ability to withstand, our ability to not fall apart, our ability to keep going, our ability to be trustworthy, our ability to be reliable, to be diligent, to be faithful, to be honest, to be, to operate in those things that we think of that are above. If there be any praise, think on these things. If when we operate and with character, when we operate in truth, when we make healthy decisions, my Lord, what it does for that one who's gleaning, who's gleaning on you, who's gleaning on your behavior, who's gleaning on your gifts, who's gleaning on your capability, who's gleaning from you, what you have to offer. Come on.
Yeah. A person's growth depends on you. Rather or not a person's going to mature in life depends on how you are responding right now. You're the pivotal point in somebody's life. We hold people's destinies in our hands. Right? We hold people's destinies in our hand. Parents, you hold your child's destiny in your hand. How you are responding to life, how you are going about your living is going to determine whether or not your child is going to grow up, whether or not your child is going to mature, whether or not your child is going to tap into the gifts and talents that have been entrusted to them and pursue those gifts and talents, nurture those gifts and talents. Your life depends on the direction your child is going to go.
Yes.
We hold people's destinies in our hands. It goes back to our living. It's not all about us. I'm not living my life solely all about me. Right? In all actuality, our living really doesn't have a whole lot to do about us. I'm going to say that again. Our living doesn't have a whole lot to do about us. We are out here living life for others. We are holding others people's destinies in our hands. Leaders, you are holding people's healing in your hands. You're holding people's deliverance in your hands. There are people that have been entrusted and assigned to you, and it is your responsibility to help them recognize their potential, to awaken them to the gifts and the talents that they have housed on the inside of them. Because unfortunately, maybe their upbringing, their environment that was set in place to nurture them, did not awaken them to who they are. But now they're assigned to you. They're watching you. And it's your responsibility to help them tap in to who they truly are.
Right. Will you be that example?
Right.
Are you the role model?
Right. Yeah.
Are you the forerunner? Are you making way for me so that I could succeed, so that I gain salvation, so that I am secure? Are you making a way for others, those that God is bringing behind you, right? Those that you cross paths with. My decisions, my goodness, my decisions will bring a person, can either break a person or build a person up.
Right.
And then we come to the turning point. So how we live, the examples that we set really present, bring a person to a point where, which way will I turn? Will I continue forward? Will I backslide? You know what I'm saying? Am I on my way to destiny? As you said, destinies are in our hands. So we have direction. We can provide direction. We can provide the security needed to secure a person's steps, right? The steps of a good person are ordered, right? So just understanding that the way we live has great influence on that's what makes this world turn, right? That's what makes this world turn. And so it's important to be that role model, to be the example that your children need, to be the example that your siblings need, to some of us, examples for our parents,
right,
as they continue to grow, because we do have people who are seasoned in age, in number, but underdeveloped.
Right.
And so it's so important for us to tap into who we are, know who we are by grace, so that we can live accordingly and help those who are in our pathway.
I like how you opened it up, even, talking about, oh Lord, it just escaped me just that quick. But yeah, thank you, Holy Spirit. People watching us. People watching. We have people watching us. You have people watching you. And it's really at the moments in life that are so critical for us. You know, those uncomfortable circumstances, those uncomfortable situations, right? Those real trying times, those times of trials, those times of tribulations, those painful times that we really, you know, have more eyes on us. Because people are wanting to know, okay, you've been preaching it, you've been teaching it, right? But are you going to live out what you've been saying? Are you going to respond, you know, to those uncomfortable moments in life like you've instructed me, you know, on how to respond? People are truly watching you. People are watching you. And they want to see, are you really going to live what you've been saying? And unfortunately, that's why a lot of people have even left the church. That's why a lot of people have walked away from the church, because the leaders did not live up to, you know, the words that they were speaking to another. So they were that pivotal point in that person's life. Many people have walked away from their walk with God, from their relationship with God. And because that person, that leader, served as a pivotal example in that one's life, unbeknownst to that leader, but that leader really should have known. And that individual, you know, made a decision to go another direction. The change of direction, unfortunately, was to walk away from the Lord, to not trust God's people.
Right. So it is a matter of life and death.
Yeah, right.
It's a matter, right. It's critical. It's a matter of life and death. You know, what decision will you make today? What's your choice? What will you decide? And another aspect to this is that so many people are unsure of their purpose, what they're called to do, what they're created to do, you know, what they've been chosen to do in this life. They don't really know who they are. There's so many people that they're unsure, they're uncertain about who they are. They don't really identify. There's a lack of connection there. Why? Because the pivots haven't been. Oh my God! The pivots haven't. When they got to the crossroads, they didn't make the right decision. Right? Instead of saying, oh my goodness, instead of saying yes to a yes, they say no. Instead of saying no when they should say no, they say yes. It's really in our choices. It's really about making a choice, a turning point. Which way will you go? Come on.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's important, you know, to keep in mind again that we all are serving as pivots, right? We are all serving as pivots. We, you know, every last one of us has some type of relationship. There's nobody living out here, you know, a one-man island. You know, there's some type of encounters that each and every one of us will have in life. You know, this life is a social sphere, if you will. Right? We're gonna encounter. We're gonna have, even if those encounters or those relationships formed are just, you know, seasonal. Many relationships are seasonal. Not all relationships are gonna be lifetime connections. Okay, but you know, for that moment of time, everybody in that relationship serves as a pivot. You know, the choices that each and every one of us make on a daily, day in and day out, right? They're serving as a type of pivot. They're serving as a type of pivot. And that pivot is not necessarily about us, but it's about those ones that we will encounter. We can lead somebody to life. We can lead somebody to success. We can lead somebody to healing. We can lead somebody to deliverance. We can lead somebody to their breakthrough. We can lead somebody, you know, to that divine connection that's going to lead to a door being opened favorably on their behalf. I mean, we just have no idea the weight that our connections are with one another really play in life. But if we walk away from this broadcast understanding that each and every one of us is a pivot, each and every one of us is a pivot. Our living that we are doing, it is not all about us. That's where we got to get in life. We got to stop thinking that my life is all about me, that the choices that I make in life is all about me. No, it's not. The choices that we make in life, they are for another. We are pivots, and that's how we need to really look at our relationships.
Right. And as we close, you know, we, as just in general as people, we know when we're headed in the right direction. We know when we're making choices that can hurt us, affect us in a negative way. And so as we close, I just want to say this. If you are the individual, if you are one who is headed in a direction that is uncomfortable, that's headed in a direction where you're feeling unsecure, that you don't have the security, you don't have the confidence, you don't have the certainty about where you're going, all I want to say is wake up. Wake up. You just might be headed in the wrong direction. Wake up and be the pivot that you were created to be. Peace be to you. Peace be to your house. And peace be to all